All right. So today is welcome to another OT session. I hope you guys like what I've titled this, Owner's Therapy. And basically today is just how working together to develop a strong team. So as you guys know, you can't be successful if you don't have a strong and willing team to stand behind you. So we're going to talk about how to make that happen. And it's going to pull in and incorporate some of the other cool things that we've talked about over the last few weeks. So I'm pretty excited to kind of bring everything full circle. I do not have a reference page today. I know that at the end of my sessions, I usually have a reference page. I don't have one today just simply because this session actually came from various seminars that I've gone to, trainings that I've attended, and then things that I've developed on my own. So this is kind of a conglomeration of lots of different pieces and bits of information that I've been collecting over the years as a small business owner and as a trainer and a sales mentor. So hopefully you guys are okay with that, but I'm happy to answer any questions or discuss anything at the end if you guys would like to do so. So let's talk about what the focus is for today. So today's focus, we're going to discuss what the role of the leader is, and we're going to discuss expectations and accountability, working together as a team, what that really means to you. Also, positive customer experience. So we haven't talked about this yet. So this is a new one that I'm pulling into the Tuesday owner therapies, and then just some additional points that we want to keep in mind as we move forward and go into our day. So this should be pretty quick, guys. Probably 15 minutes, 20 minutes max, and then I'll let you roll on and have a great sales day. So first thing we need to talk about is you need to create a team atmosphere within your small business that has a sense of mission. So you need to share your vision with what your agency can be so your team has a common purpose. And to get a group of individuals to think as one positive team, they also have to see you as a positive, good-spirited, and motivated leader and hard worker. So basically today's session is just has some great ideas to help create and develop a strong team with solid and great outlook on customer service, keeping the future of your agency in their sights. So role as a leader. So our role as a leader, and you know what, I'm looking up on Ryan's board and it's not changing. Oh, there we go. There we go. Just want to make sure we're happening at the same time. So the role as a leader. So the first and foremost, role as a leader is to hold effective meetings. So my one last week was actually on how to create team meetings and what to do and different topics to talk about. So I'm just going to quickly kind of go over this. I've already had a few trainings on the importance of team meetings, and I just can't stress them enough. So as a quick recap, if you weren't on the call last week, weekly meetings is something that you need to be having with your team. And the reason for that is this is a place where you share metrics, goals, successes, and challenges. And it's key to keeping up with what your team needs. And also it allows them to help mentor one another. And it's going to give you a chance to go over items such as, your performance-based stats, sales, customer compliments, and complaints. This is also very important. We're going to touch on that a little bit later. Also, what you need to make sure that you have materials available. You're going to be listening to training requests and any other pertinent information. You also want to use this time to announce upcoming events such as new projects, new products. Do you have executives coming to visit your office? Do you have Ryan coming in to visit your office? Are there structural changes? You always want to keep your team well informed and definitely not left in the dark. And this is a good chance to gain ideas for improvement as well. And if needed, how to ease any tension that there might be in the group. So sometimes you have some challenges. You have some people that aren't happy with one another. You've got, I know that for me in my world, the recruiting world, there can sometimes be some competition or challenge between the recruiting team and the sales team just because they view and think so differently. So making sure that your marketers, your CSRs, your producers, everybody's on the same page. So make sure you set your meetings up on an Outlook calendar. Make sure that they're reoccurring for at least 6 months so that their team can count on you. They know that this is happening. You can update each meeting request with an agenda. Make sure that you have those agenda items ready and you stay on track. Try to keep away from those rabbit holes. Again, this is just a quick recap on last week's. Remember that your agenda is something that you need to keep to. This is going to help them gain confidence and keep the confidence in the leadership and in your business. And this is so important. So the next one, get your team used to you walking around the office quietly. I love to walk around my office and listen to my team when they're busy working. My teams have always expected to see me walk the floor, and this is the best way to find out what's really going on with your customers and with your team interaction. If they're not If they're used to you quietly walking the floor and observing, then what's going to happen is they're going to start to act like themselves. You're going to hear what they really sound like on the phone when they're talking to a client. You're going to hear how they really interact with one another. You're going to hear if your office manager snaps at somebody or if a marketer completely ignores the request of a CSR. You're going to start to see these things. This is going to give you ideas for great training and where people may need help or may need support. I highly suggest as a leader, you get very, very comfortable walking the floor of your office. And this, again, this isn't a time for you to talk. This isn't a time for you to give your input. If they have a question for you, if they see you, if they know you're out there, answer those questions. Let them be comfortable knowing that they can come to you at any time. This is kind of the extension of the open door policy. This is the extension of those office hours that we've talked about in the past. Letting them know that you are available, but you are also out there to observe and to get to know them and to listen and to see what's going on. This is really going to be key to you knowing how your customers are treated. Walk the floor. And again, quietly. They don't need to know that you're there. This isn't a chance for you to socialize or interact with them. This is a chance for you to observe and to learn who they are. Now, the additional point that I want to make as a role of a leader, and it's changing, is, do you have a company mission statement? Now, I know that Farmers has a company mission statement, and I know that you guys have these up on your walls, but I'm just curious, do you as an agent have a smaller agency mission statement? Do you have something that you and your team can hold on to and that you can count on? It's not something cheesy or chinchy. This is really, truly what you're looking to do. If you're in a high fire line, if you're in an area where you've got the fire line issues, or if you're somewhere where you are dealing primarily with commercial insurance, creating a mission statement is about creating what your book of business looks like and creating a statement around that so that your customers have your commitment and your team works towards this. This is setting a bar, setting an expectation that your team can work towards. This is really what defines your values. Every company, big and small, should have a mission statement. And this statement is to be shared with your new employees and your customers. It's not a corny poster on the wall that no one reads. This is really the meaning of why you're in business for yourself. Your team should see your goals and values through the eyes of your moral measuring stick, not just the corporate office, not just the farmer mission statement. This will allow your team to be a part of it. You want to have them help create the mission statement together. If you've got a team that's been together for a couple of years and you don't have a mission statement, this is a great company project. This is a great thing to do together as a team, putting that company mission statement together. This also gives them confidence that their job and their role within your business is important and it's needed. And that's exactly how you want your team to feel, creating that strong team that's going to move forward and help you achieve your goals. So here's a couple pieces on just writing your mission statement. So I just wanted to throw this out there because I have a feeling that many of you probably don't have an individualized mission statement for your agency. I know that for the first couple of companies that I've helped run and build, I didn't have a mission statement. And I didn't realize the impact until I actually created one and saw how it changed the commitment of the team. So a couple of things to consider. What's the value of the company that the customer pays for? What's the competitive advantage? And what kind of quality is expected? So these are some ideas that you can use to help start getting the juices flowing when you're putting a mission statement together. Don't forget, though, in the end, it's all about profitability. You want to keep your team focused on this as you write your statement. So it's not giving away everything so that you can be a happy customer. That's definitely not what it's about. It's about profitability for you at the end of the day. Your team, you need to keep your team focused on the end result. So use it as a customer introduction, use it at team building meetings and new trainings and as a theme in your office. The more you can create a true culture, the more you have a true business and the more everybody focuses and functions as one unit. So the key to the mission statement and the point of the mission statement is it's helping you define a culture for your agency specifically. And that's very, very important. So next on the list is expectations and accountability. So the higher quality the team, the better the teamwork. Again, we've touched on this a little bit, but let's talk about it so that in a little bit more detail. Making sure everyone understands what's expected. It's important to have both the goals and the consequences if the goals aren't hit. So it's important that everyone knows that each team member needs to do within the team structure and that they're supporting each other on that. So this is where you have a clear detail of goals and a clear understanding of potential consequences. And this is where everyone sees what the job description and the responsibilities are of everyone else in the office. There shouldn't be any questions around this. Making sure everyone is set and ready to go. And this means creating sub-teams. Again, something else that we've talked about in the past. A sub-team is something that we covered we just weren't calling it this. Basically what it is it's making sure you don't just have one person trained on one specific job duty. It means making sure that you cross-train multiple individuals on multiple jobs so that you're never left in a lurch. If you lose a staff member or you're in growth mode and you need to promote somebody, you have somebody to come up behind them to be able to take over their role. Next one, this is one that we haven't discussed in the past. This is demand the needed attention to detail. And this really means striving for perfection. This is the dot the T's and cross the I's of the business, especially in your world as agents where there's so much room for clerical and data error. It's important for the team to understand and acknowledge the attention to detail part of working together and the cross-checking and supporting one another. I'm currently working with one agency in your district, and they have so many amazing backdoor cross checks that it's just absolutely, it blows my mind. The attention to detail is just, it's through the roof. And so there's never a customer left in a lurch. There's not the data entry errors. They've got the follow-up files. This is really important. If they learn to treat each situation, your team, if they learn to treat each situation that they are in with professionalism, they're going to do great. Don't let flaws become acceptable. But you also want to remember the 1-minute manager that we talked about. You want to correct immediately and swiftly and then move on. Don't dwell on the negative. So just because you demand attention to detail doesn't mean that this becomes a nag session. You want to address it, correct it, and move on. All right. So working together as a team. Now, this is something that we've been kind of talking about a little bit over the last few weeks, pulling in these team expectations and how to create a team environment. And I'm just going to keep, kind of beating this and going over this. You will not have the level of profitability that you're looking for as an agent if you do not have a team that's working together succinctly. So it's so important that all of these different little tidbits of information that I'm getting, that you guys are truly taking a look at it and seeing what that means and trying to implement that into your organization. So what I did was I kind of created a visual that'll give you some information to the level of team success and how to get your team working together. So the first one is teach them. So let them know that there's support amongst team members and to have respect for one another and the job that they're doing. If your staff relies on each other, they'll accomplish bigger and better goals for your business. So you want to teach them, and then you want to let them go, and you want to let them teach each other. The next one, again, setting those achievable goals and metrics, making sure that they understand why it's so important that they need to meet these goals for both short and long-term viability of your organization. When they perform above the standard business level, then they're going to exceed expectations. And this was going to result in more perks and pluses for them as individuals and as a team. They're going to want to see that. So make sure that you have that in the back of your head. If you are creating achievable goals, what are the expectations and what are the rewards that they're going to get when they exceed those goals? Not when they hit those goals, but when they exceed those goals. Hitting the goal is the job. Exceeding them are the above and beyonds. Next one, their opinion. You want to make their opinion count. This is absolutely imperative to the functionality of your team. They deserve follow-up if they have company training or an idea. You have to take their thoughts and their ideas seriously, and you have to follow up on them. And you have to give yourself a higher degree of commitment. This is where they're going to learn to trust you. There's a strong sense of pride when an employee comes to you with an idea and it's taken seriously. And this is going to filter through the team, the water cooler conversations, so to speak. And this is going to be discussed when you're not there. So this will help build your team commitment and make them really want to stay there long term. You want your team to be innovative and you want them to come to you with ideas. Even if you can't accommodate the request, let them know that you take them seriously and you appreciate that they feel like they can come to you. This is so critical. Next one, again, another one that we've talked about, supporting the different strengths. So this is making sure that you are looking at your team from all different angles and who has what strength and supporting that strength. If you have somebody that you can see would be an amazing CSR, somebody that would just absolutely blow the roof off commercial business, somebody that would just absolutely blow the roof off of life insurance, support that strength, teach them, train them, and get them to a place where they can start helping your company be profitable in what they're good at and what their passion is. And then last but not least, let the team decide. I really think this is a key point to a successful team, is allowing them to make decisions. Because what this is going to do is this is going to create the autonomy that you need as a leader to be able to walk away from your organization. You guys want to go on vacation. You want to buy sailboats and race cars and houses in the mountains or houses near the ocean. The only way that this is going to happen is if you create a team that's autonomous and are free thinkers, can think on their own and make good decisions. So when you start to let your team decide how to move forward with your organization and you start to trust them, you will see that their confidence is going to be built, and they will be able to take care of your organization for you when you're not there. Next one is creating a positive customer experience. Again, this is so critical, and this is something that we really haven't pulled into our conversations yet, is making sure that not only do you have a good team, not only are they taking care of the inside office, but they're also taking care of your book of business as well, and they're creating a positive customer experience. So how do we get there on that? First and foremost, of course, the customer is right. In any service-related industry, the customer is right, and you need to learn how your staff feels about this before you even hire them. So this is one of those things that should be found out and figured out before you even hire a staff member. Have you done your references? Did you speak to previous employers or ask peers how well they do with customers, asking for positive and negative examples? This is a simple but many times forgotten core value. Walking the floor of your office is also going to help you see how your staff really feels about your customers. Are they service calls or are they opportunity calls? When people call in, are they calling in because they need to be serviced, or is it an opportunity to connect with your customers? And is it an opportunity to help increase revenue, do cross-selling, and basically increase your book of business? The next one is curbing negativity. This means with both customers and staff members. So we want to watch this and make sure that it doesn't get out of hand. And also watch yourself. One of the biggest things that I see in small businesses, especially with just a team of maybe 1, 2, 3, 4 people, is that it's so easy for the leader to become part of the gossip and the fuel that lights the fire. If you have an issue with one of your staff, you should discuss it directly with them. Otherwise, keep it to yourself. You need to teach your team those same basic manners. This is the quickest way for a solid team to unravel. Imagine if you're talking about person X. That person that you're talking to is probably thinking in their head, well, man, when I'm not around, what do you think they're saying about me? I know I screwed up on this last week. Did they say the same negative things about me that they're saying about this person? It happens. You will lose your team if you do not keep your negative thoughts to yourself. Another one is pretending that they're on camera or putting them on camera. Have you guys recorded your team while they're on service calls? Have you recorded them on video or on a tape recorder? A great way to get them to behave if you're having issues is to put them on camera, especially if a customer comes in or if they're on a call with them. This will change behaviors quicker than anything, and you would be amazed at the additional cross-selling and follow-through that will happen when you put them on film. So if you have not filmed your team yet, I absolutely highly suggest you get on it, get a camera, get that camera rolling, and let your team know that for the next week, everything's going to be on camera. We're going to film all the calls and all the client interactions. And then at the end of the week, have your team meeting around watching those, or do it one-on-one. Cut them out and do them one-on-one so that your team members can see what they really truly are like when they are, on the phone or in front of a customer. And then the last one is being ambassadors for the company. If they know that the customer is right, they're not negative, they do well on camera, and everything works well, then they've become an ambassador for your organization. This means that their actions, their words, and their attitude, they're an ambassador for the agency. They're truly part of the success of your organization, and this is exactly what you want. So ultimately, you want to see them become ambassadors for your office and your small business. All right, so last but not least, here's some points that I just want you guys to keep in mind. It's kind of a wrap up, and it goes over a couple final topics and subjects. See, I told you this was going to be quick today. All right, so strong teams do not need micromanagement. If you build and foster a strong team, you will have the luxury to step away and not micromanage the team, the processes, or the customers. Oh, how great would that feel? Ryan just said, some of us are so good at that. Thank you, Ryan. So again, create a team that doesn't need you there. If you create a team that doesn't need you, you will have a chance to go off and follow the next level of dreams that you have for yourself. This is why you're an agent. This is why you have a small business, because you're futuristic. You think about the future. You maximize where you're at right now and you think about the future. The only way you're going to be able to step into that future is if you have a team that doesn't need to be micromanaged. Next one. Make sure you know what they know. So this one is absolutely, absolutely key as well. Making sure they know that you know what they know. Saying just do it without knowing what needs to be done is a morale killer, and it will destroy teamwork. This was when we went through the lead versus manage training a few weeks ago. This was a huge one. You should be able to do the basics of each individual job in your department, whether it's answer a phone, taking an order, making a product, or technically supporting a customer. Besides, your confidence level will also rise if you understand the work that's being done by your team. So it's going to increase your confidence level as well as your team's confidence in you as their leader. If you can do all the basic functionalities within your office, then they know that they are not, what's the word I'm looking for? Indispensable. They're not indispensable. And being indispensable makes people want to work harder and move up to that next level because they want to become indispensable. All right. I really like this last picture because I like elephants. So balance is the key. This one's important. Always make sure there's balance in the air and be prepared to counterbalance as soon as possible. You want your team to be happy, but at the same time, not act silly and goofy in your office. You want them to be serious, but at the same time, you don't want them to be stressed. You want them to communicate openly, but at the same time, you don't want them to complain. You want them to be independent, but you don't want them to be disrespectful. By making sure that there's always balance and making sure that you're creating an organization that's filled with balance, this will ensure a happy, healthy team, and they will strive towards success. And that success will mean that you will move forward. All right. So looking ahead, taking all of these things into consideration, you're going to have an opportunity to look ahead and make sure that you are on track. You have your mission set. Do you know what the next steps are so that you can grow? And is your team ready to take that next step with you? This is just a quick checklist. And if you can answer yes to these, then you are definitely on the road to having a strong team, profitability, and being able to move forward in the next step of your dreams as an entrepreneur and a leader. So with that being said, I'm going to unmute you guys. Any questions? I'm happy to answer them. Told you guys it was going to be quick today. All right, I think you're unmuted. Hello. It doesn't want to unmute. Oh, there you are.
There you are.
All right. Any questions today, guys? Nope. All right. I know everybody's shy. All right. Well, again, I'm going to mute you guys again because I can't hear myself. Okay, so again, if you guys would like to have me come and visit your office, or if you want to give me a call and just kind of brainstorm with me about anything that's happening within your organization, please feel free. This is my contact information. I would love to speak with you and talk to you about what's happening in your neck of the woods. Hopefully I will get to do that soon with some of you. Otherwise, you guys have a wonderful Tuesday, and I look forward to next Tuesday and some more owners therapy. Thanks so much. Everybody take care. Talk soon.
Good. Yeah.